A private view of a contemporary art show. Don't be fooled by the party atmosphere. This is 21st century people asking, what are we? Empty, unhinged, distorted. Unknown forces greater than ourselves are shaping us to be something we don't feel we really are, something unnatural. The polluted modern environment is like the polluted inner self. Help, we're declining. This feeling of catastrophe isn't really unique to modern life. Tonight we're going to look at where it comes from and what we can do about it. Leave the world of international digitalised conceptual art and cross time to a top hat and tails world, a private view at London's Royal Academy in the 19th century. The British are our focus tonight. It's Britain that spearheads the Industrial Revolution, a process of change in society and work that transforms the whole of life. The origin of our modern anxiety is in that momentous change in human consciousness. We feel we're losing our individuality, our creativity. We feel meaningless. Tonight we're going to meet a Victorian who thought he could fight that process, and civilization could rise again. What do Victorians think about? They think about scientific progress and history and human nature. Do all ages pass? Do all civilizations decay? What causes corruption? The man who freaks Victorians out with these thoughts, who sees the problems of the world on an epic scale, is the subject tonight. He's an art guru, John Ruskin. His life's work is about the power of art to save souls. Ruskin was a great battling, critical mind. He taught Victorians to see clearly, and through that to understand what they could be if they were better than themselves. If he's remembered at all today, it's to gossip about his tragic sex life. Tragic because it was all fantasy, and because of the illicit nature of the fantasies. But tonight we're aiming higher. We're looking at the redeeming power of art. Art is not just a distraction from the grueling trip of life, it is life. It is our imaginative proposal of what life can be. Ruskin is the prophet of why art matters. He says, you don't live a fulfilled life, you're a slave. You've sold yourself, you live in a world of exploitation. You don't connect to the things around you, they don't reflect you, you're alone. You live a half-life. You can live a full one through art. Art has in it that which makes life worth living. He's saying all this in the 19th century. Ruskin died over 100 years ago in 1900. I think what he's saying is still fresh for us now. It can still help us. I think it can actually save us. If you pick up a rock, what's it telling you? It might be that the mighty hand of God is filling everything up with divine power. But if you're a scientist, it's telling you that the Earth isn't a few thousand years old, as it says in the Bible, and created by God in 7 days. It's many billions of years old, and we don't know how it was created. And there wasn't a flood or a Noah's Ark. And you're alone with the mysteries of the universe. Science changed everything for Victorians. Society changed. Nature was disappearing. Nature wasn't something you lived in and ruled your life and reflected your inner being anymore. Machines ruled life, and they didn't care about your inner being. It was brooding thoughts like these that occupied Ruskin on his trips to the Alps. The mountains are in his mind when he's thinking about social transformation, rural agricultural culture changing into an overwhelmingly industrial civilization. A new money culture replaces nature and God. Ruskin thought mountains were the quintessence of nature, and so they were the purest form of the language of God. Without them, air couldn't be purified and the flow of rivers sustained, and humans couldn't be startled out of their lethargy with the deep and pure agitation of astonishment. We open our eyes, we see God's revelation. Born in 1819 to wealthy parents who made their money in trade, Ruskin received his early education at home. A large part of it was his mother teaching him to learn great tracts of the Bible by heart. Religious, brought up to love nature, hardwired to see the world as good fighting evil, the element needed to make Ruskin Ruskin was an artist, Turner. How can mere paintings reverse civilization's decline? Coming up after the ads, a big blast of consolation for humanity's lost illusions.